Hi everyone, we'll be waiting 2 to 3 minutes before starting the webinar, simply to accommodate for the rest of the attendees who are in the middle of connecting. Welcome everyone, thanks for joining us and thanks for being part of our community. My name is Valen Kalika and I'll be your today's host. A few reminders before we kick off our session. If at any time you experience issues viewing the stream and are using the web browser version of Teams, please refresh your browser. If you're using the desktop app of Teams, please exit and rejoin. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be shared publicly. We will post the recordings on our community at aka.ms/security-webinars. Closed captions in several languages are available during this live broadcast, and you can enable them by clicking on the CC button located at the lower right corner of your screen. Feel free to ask questions at any time by typing them in the live event Q&A window by clicking on the Ask Question button. Be aware that any questions you will be posting will be publicly visible. However, if you prefer, you can post your question anonymously by checking the box right below where you enter it. We often get many questions on these webinars, and we will do our best to respond to all of them in real time. In the event if the answer was not provided, or if you may have additional questions post this event, please don't hesitate to raise them on our Azure Security Center forum at aka.ms/ASC community. If you're listening to this after the fact, that as a recording, that's also a great place to ask a question. We love to hear your feedback on how we can improve these webinars. And you can do so at aka.ms/security-webinar-feedback. I would also like to invite you to join our public community by visiting us at aka.ms/security-community. That's the best way to ensure you don't miss any future webinars or major announcements. On our community, you can speak directly to our engineering teams that create our security products. You'll be able to influence our product designs and get early access to changes by doing things like participating in private previews, which you can sign up at aka.ms/security-prp. You can request features, give feedback, review our product roadmaps, register for events, or join webinars like this. We believe that the best way to improve our products is by removing any barriers between you and the people that create them. So we hope you'll join us. In today's session, Hassan Abu Shali will go over the key points of using Azure Defender for storage to help you protect data in your Azure storage accounts. Hassan is a program manager with the Azure Security Center team, and without further ado, I will turn it over to him. Hassan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Balon, and thanks everyone for joining. As Balon mentioned, in today's webinar, we'll be going through Azure Defender for storage. We'll start by a brief on the common threats on cloud storages, then dive into Azure Defender for storage, then zoom out to the bigger bundle of Azure Defender, offering of Azure Defender and Azure Security Center. So with the massive adoption of cloud computing and the huge increase we're seeing on adopting cloud storages, and for different applications, we're seeing a lot of in a lot of use cases, customers use cloud storages for web hosting, for archiving, for data analysis, and other use cases. And with more and more sensitive data and business critical data are being stored in these storages. And with this increase, we're also seeing the increase in cyber attacks on those cloud storages, where attackers try to access or manipulate the data stored in these storages, or try to encrypt them, and ransomware attacks that we've been seeing recently. So there's a different attack vectors in storage accounts, and here we can see some of these techniques used to exfiltrate data or to get data in storage accounts. This is from the Verizon's data breach investigations report, where we can see that the split between, for example, external actors and internal actors in terms of the malicious access to these storage accounts. We're seeing that there's a breach that use anonymous access on storage accounts that shouldn't be accessible anonymously. We're seeing access with compromised credentials that we can identify, when we see that the access is coming from suspicious IPs or from unusual locations, etc. And breach using phishing content, which attackers may host on cloud storages. We also see some breaches and attacks coming from internal actors, such as using a privilege abuse or doing that exfiltration in an unusual way, stuff like this. We've been seeing the past year and the preceding years. We've been seeing a lot of huge attacks on cloud data in general and the cloud storage in specific, where attackers successfully got and reached to sensitive data hosted on those storage accounts. So Azure Defender for storage is part of Azure Defender offering, which is integrated in Azure Security Center. It basically adds an additional layer of security to better protect storage workloads and provides contextual alerts upon unusual and potentially harmful attempts to breach your storage accounts, and also provides recommendation to harden your storage environment. We provide at Defender for storage. We provide two main things. The first thing is advanced threat protection, which alerts upon, as I mentioned, upon unusual activities such as potential malware upload, or detecting of phishing campaigns hosted in your storage accounts, or access from suspicious IPs, or anonymous access on your storage accounts, or if someone, for example, is doing unusual data exfiltration or data extraction. So that's the first part. We will see in a minute the full list of the detections. And the other part is the vulnerability assessment, where we help you identify security misconfigurations, such as the publicly accessible storage accounts we just saw. We give actionable remediation steps, and the security baseline is tuned to your specific environment. And we also help you track your progress in terms of compliance using the secure score. And we give security recommendations, which we also see in the live demo. So in terms of the advanced threat protection, we have a rich suite of detections categorized in three categories. The first one is identifying suspicious access patterns. So if we see access from store exit nodes, for example, that usually used to anonymize user identity, or we see access from suspicious IP addresses, anonymous access, unusual location, or if we see that the access is coming from unusual or suspicious application. And now we'll be releasing soon is the scanning activities. So we'll also be alerting upon such tools and access patterns as the one we saw that try to enumerate storage accounts and our storage containers and expose data within them. The second category is suspicious activities. So if someone is doing malicious activities or suspicious activities on your storage account, whether it's data exfiltration or access inspection or change of access permission. So if we're seeing that the access permissions is being changed in an unusual way, relevant to the or compared to the baseline of your storage account, we also alert upon that. And also an unusual deletion that we have seen in several cases that there's a bulk deletion. So we also alert on that to help prevent data loss. The third category is the upload of malicious content. So there's scenarios where attackers host phishing content on cloud storages, especially on Azure and AWS. So it's easier to see. So they get like a legitimate path to their phishing files or phishing sites. So if we identify phishing campaigns hosted on your storage account that can be due to user uploaded content, or if someone reached your publicly accessible container on your storage account, or a container that allows users to upload content, we alert on that. We also alert upon potential malware or potential upload of upon upload of potential malware. We do that based on malware hash reputation. So all of our alerts and detections utilize the advanced capabilities of Microsoft Threat Intelligence. So Microsoft amasses billions of data entries around suspicious IPs and suspicious hashes of malware files, etc., and we utilize that to provide better protection. So the malware detection that we currently have is based on the hash reputation analysis. So we do not do like a full file scan up and upload, but we do provide basic capabilities around malware detection. And also we provide ways to automate remediation steps. For example, if a malicious file was uploaded, you can automate the process of deleting the file or moving it to another container, etc. So that's it in terms of the detections. As I mentioned, all of our detections are based on the capabilities of Microsoft Threat Intelligence. The way it works, so it's very easy to turn on Azure Defender for storage. It's a one-click enablement in Azure Security Center and the Azure portal, or through the PowerShell or the API. Then all the storage that you have under this, all the storage of blobs files and the AWS Gen 2 under this account or subscription get protected. So when an attacker comes, you get an alert, a security alert that upon the suspicious or malicious activity that happened, and then you can either investigate it in Sentinel or do an automatic response or manually remediate the threat. So to sum it up, Azure Defender for Storage gives native security. It has one-click enablement, and it supports the three major types of storages, which is blobs, files, and AWS Gen 2. It provides rich detection suite, as we just saw, and it helps responding at scale with automatic responses and with automation of the response process. And it's also centralized and integrated within Azure, allowing native integration with services like Azure Sentinel and additional Azure offerings. Let's jump into a demo, a quick demo. So if I go to the Azure portal and go to one of my storage accounts that is protected with Azure Defender for Storage, if I go now to the security tab on this account, I see this this dashboard because this page, because my storage account has Defender for Storage enabled. Oh, sorry, it's a demo webinar. If you don't have Defender for Storage enabled on your account, you will get here. You can enable it. You will be able to enable it here with one click. As you can see, I can here see that I have 4 security recommendations and 6 security alerts on this account. So, for example, I can see that storage account public access should be disallowed, and I can go in and change this and to disallow public access on my storage account. So I can see the remediation step, and I can do one-click remediation. Oops. And also, if I remediating, so what it does now, it changes the configuration of allowing public access to the storage account to disallow. So that way we make sure that we prevent unintended public access to this account, for example. And now, if I look also at the security alerts, so today I have simulated several alerts for this webinar. I can see that, for example, I have an alert of potential malware uploaded to the storage account, to upload container on my storage account. And when I click on it, I can see the details of that alert. And I can then see the full page of details, including what type of malware was it, and the IP address that did the upload, and the file that was identified as malware, etc. So this way, I can see the security alerts for a specific storage account. I will also be able to see it if I go to Azure Security Center and go to the security alerts there. I can see this on all of the security alerts combined in a centralized place for all of my resources. If you're trying this for the first time, you can also try the sample alerts. So you can generate sample alerts for the different bundles that Defender protects, and you can see them just to see how the alerts look like, or just to try the offering. Azure Defender for Storage is part of the larger Azure Defender offering, which includes 2 types of security solutions to protect cloud workloads. The first offering is cloud depth threat protection for most of your Azure workloads. As you can see here, it includes VMs, web application, containers, databases, and storage accounts. So that's one way with protecting the specific types of services of cloud offerings. And the other one is the second one is a set of native bridge threat protection that applies for every workload in Azure that uses Azure service layers, such as Azure Network, DNS, Azure Resource Manager, and Azure Key Vault. So Azure Defender, to sum it up, it helps protecting all the workloads on Azure or managed by Azure in 2 ways. From the service, the layer of a specific resource types, and another way is in parallel doing it from also the breadth protection, providing breadth protection. Azure Defender is also part of, we zoom a bit more out. Azure Defender is also integrated within Azure Sentinel, and it plays along with Microsoft Defender to give a holistic security for all the resources that Microsoft offer. So Microsoft 365 Defender offers protection for email docs, for endpoints, for identities, and for apps. And Azure Defender, as we saw, offers the detection for the Azure resources. And you can get a holistic view for all the security if you're of the different types, and if you stream your alerts to Azure Sentinel. Yeah. So with that, I think that's about it. We encourage you to enable Azure Defender for storage and Azure Defender for the other services to protect your workloads, both inside and outside of Azure, and to also integrate Azure Defender security alerts into Azure Sentinel, so you can have a centralized place to view all of your alerts and security alerts. you can using this link, you can go to the configuration page of Azure Defender for storage for more information and the entire list of alerts and the other links of pricing, etc. And I am leaving also in the slides notes as the slides with more information about the documentation, how to do the alert simulation, and how to do the automation investigation steps. And as Dalal mentioned, we're here to help. We'd love to be in touch directly. You can either reach out to us through the community or directly through the email. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hassan. Let me just here see if we have any unanswered questions, although the team here is doing their best to reply. Let's take a look at the last two. Is there any third-party threat intelligence integration possible? I see Ron. Ron is trying to reply to it. Maybe you can speak up to that, Ron.
Yeah, Hassan also can reply. Again, we offer built-in threat intelligence for Microsoft as part of our Azure Defender for storage. Again, customer can choose to throw alerts to the logs to inject into Sentinels and use their own threat intelligence sources. But again, the built-in offering we have in Azure Defender is we have all Microsoft threat intelligence, which is a lot of very powerful and TI. So you are benefiting from Microsoft TI.
And related to that, thank you, Ron, for that. Related to that one, there's another one about regarding Sentinel and the Defender integration. So once a particular threat is resolved, should it be resolved in a Defender or Sentinel?
This is another good question. Again, so we have again the alerts can be integrated in a seamless way to Sentinel. You can close the alert in Sentinel. We are part of the roadmap. We are planning to synchronize the sync. So once it will close in Sentinel, it will be closed in Defender. But currently, again, you need to close the alerts in both areas. But we are working on synchronization between those states.
Perfect. Thank you. And of course.
Yeah, just one more thing to that. Yeah. You can still investigate the alerts in Azure Security Center. So the screens that we saw earlier, you can still see the information and the remediation steps inside of Azure Security Center interface. And as Ron mentioned, if you stream that to Sentinel, you can go and have the full investigation in Sentinel.
Thank you. And I just posted a link here for the pricing models because there was a question regarding cost. So you can please feel free to use that link. And let me see here. Okay, so here's another one over here. How many signatures present in Defender? And that's one. Second is, what is the percentage of giving the success rate of a true positive alerts for now?
What was the first part, sorry?
How many signatures are presented in Defender?
So I don't think that we have an answer for that number. We are using an aggregator within Microsoft that has many millions, I would assume. And so I don't have a number, but anything that is out there we compare against. Again, this should not be considered a true anti-malware solution. It's just scanning for full file hashes. We're working on a more complete solution for anti-malware.
Thank you for that. And this last question also related to malware and ransomware, so that's already taken care of. Just wanted to provide some reminders on the upcoming webinar. So this Thursday we have a Microsoft Cloud App Security team who will be taking us through GitHub environment protection that is using MCAS. And to review the full list and to register for the upcoming webinars, please visit us at the aka.ms/security webinars. This is the same link where we will be publishing the recordings for this webinar as well as the deck. And there's some useful information on the Hassan's deck regarding the additional resources and documentations pertaining Azure Defender for storage. In case we missed to answer your questions, or if you think of additional questions post this event, please visit us and post them on our Azure Security Center forum at aka.ms/ASC community. And I would like to close this webinar by thanking Hassan. Well, my dog is barking here. I would like to close this webinar by thanking Hassan to a great presentation, and thank you to the rest of the team who helped us answering the questions. And of course, most of all, I want to thank all of you for being part of our community and for joining us on these webinars. And we hope to see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you both. Thank you.